Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Up LU. I am Dr. Kevin Rome, president of Lincoln University, and I am here with three very distinguished and interesting people. They are three of the longest serving employees at Lincoln University. Each one of them will introduce themselves and just tell us a little bit about their background and how they ended up at Lincoln. And we'll start here.
Background starts with Amherst College in Massachusetts. I went to Harvard after that. I got my PhD at Howard. I taught at Howard for 5.5 years. How I got here was sort of interesting to me. 2 years into my PhD program at Howard, I got a letter from Lincoln University, which I had never heard of in life, offering me the head of the English department. I was an instructor at Howard, which was sort of a dysfunctional administration in the 60s. And I thought to myself, that's cool, you know? And I knew I could do better than what I saw around me at Howard. I had 2 years to go before I actually got the PhD, so I kept saying, can't come yet, but yes, I'd love to. And I did, so I came out in 1970 and have loved it ever since.
Wow, and you didn't tell us who you are.
So I'm Noel Heermance. I teach English here at Lincoln.
All right, thanks. And you are?
I am Ann Ortmeyer. I am the Executive Assistant to the President and Staff Secretary to the Board of Curators. I started at Lincoln University part-time in 1974 and became a full-time employee in 1975, working for Thomas D. Pauley in the Division of Humanities and Fine Arts, and moved to the President's office in '83 and have enjoyed my many years at Lincoln University, and I'm a Lincoln alum.
Okay, but there's also something else with your family. Tell us about your family relationship.
Of my family, 3 other have worked at Lincoln University. Of the nieces and nephews, there have been at least, I want to say 10 Lincoln alums, and we are now on the 3rd generation. I have a great niece and a great nephew who are in school at Lincoln University, and I have a 2 nieces in grad school at Lincoln University.
Wow, it's a family affair.
You know, that is impressive.
Yes. And tell us about yourself.
My name is Kamalendu Paul. I just go by KB. I was born and raised in India. After getting my undergraduate degree in India, I was looking for an opportunity to come to the United States. And I applied to several universities. And I got an offer from Tuskegee Institute. That was in 1964, that if I came to Tuskegee, there will be a research assistant for me, and my tuition was free, and they offered me $150 a month. And at that time, that $150 was not too bad, really. So I showed up at Tuskegee in 1964, and it was mostly African American. There were about, I would say, 95% African American, about 4% from Africa, and 1% maybe from India and Iran. There was a lot of students used to come to study engineering at Tuskegee. After getting my master's in 1965, I went to University of Ottawa in Canada, and I got my doctoral degree. And after that, I returned to Tuskegee as a postdoctoral research associate. Then one of my colleagues at Tuskegee, he got the job of deanship at Lincoln University. And that was the time we just got our land grant money, and they were expanding the programs in agricultural research and agricultural extension. And they were recruiting very actively. So they got in touch with me, my former colleague and now the dean, and he said, KB, we have a good opportunity for you if you would like to move to Lincoln University, and I can guarantee you are going to love the university. It is small, nice, and it's, you know, it is a beautiful setting. So why don't you come and see us? So I showed up one day, and I really liked the setting of Lincoln University. And, you know, I just came to Lincoln in 1975, August. That means I have completed 40 years and going into 41st year. My first appointment at Lincoln was research and extension. And then in 1984-85, that was the time Lincoln was getting involved in international programs. So I was one of the first to write a proposal, and it was funded. And in 1985, opportunities opened up for us. We were contacted by University of Minnesota and University of Arkansas, University of Illinois, and University of Minnesota. So those three plus Lincoln, four of us, we formed our own consortium, and we wrote a proposal to go to Rwanda.
Wow.
And we got the funding, and I ended up in Rwanda in 1985. I signed up initially for 2 years. I ended up staying 3.5. Then I was getting ready to come back to Lincoln. At that time, US State Department, they asked me, would you like to stay over because we need somebody with your background to look after all USAID funded agriculture and natural resource projects in Eastern and Southern Africa. I told them that, hey, I like Lincoln, and if Lincoln allows me to stay, I will stay. So somebody contacted the ambassador of Rwanda, and he asked me, who is your president now? I said, Dr. Rayburn. You mean Wendell? Wendell is the president of Lincoln? I said, yes. Do you have his phone number? I said, yes, I know Lincoln's phone number. Give me his number. And he just called up Dr. Rayburn, that one of your faculty is sitting right here, and we would like for him to stay. And he said he will stay only if you allow. He said, well, if KB wants to stay, then I have no problem. He can stay. So I ended up staying for another 3 years. I moved to Nairobi, and I worked in 14 different countries. So, after that, I came back to Lincoln in 1992. But 6 months later, I ended up again in Africa. And by the time I returned long term to Lincoln University, it was 1998. And 13 years of my life, I worked in Africa in 20 different countries, working for Lincoln University. And people still wondered, how can your university let you stay that long and still you have a job at Lincoln? I said, well, Lincoln is a unique university. They listen to you, they try to accommodate you. And, so I was an ambassador for Lincoln in Africa for 13 years.
Okay.
So in 1998, I came back long term, and then I decided to stay over. And at that time, I was given the option between teaching, research, and extension. What would you like to do? And only Lincoln does that sort of thing. No other institution will do that. And the type of work that I did in Africa, it was developmental, it was extension work. So I decided to sign up for extension. And at that time, Dr. Daidampul Marsh, he was the director of extension. And he said, would you like to take the directorship of our small farm program? And, that was a perfect fit for me. So I took that job, and I'm still the director of the small farm program for Lincoln University.
Wow, so that's quite a lengthy career with a lot of opportunities. So for each of you, what are some of the significant changes? I'm sure Lincoln has changed over the last 40 years. What stands out the most for you? I'll start with Roseanne.
Oh, goodness. Probably the different backgrounds of our students. We have students commuter students. We have the students that live in the residence halls. We have the international students, just the variety of students. We have non-traditional, we have traditional. Each one is uniquely different, and Lincoln offers them an opportunity, as it did me. I'm the first female in my family that graduated from college. And that was an opportunity that was afforded to me. The changes on the campus, the physical changes, the new buildings, the historical buildings on this campus. We have a beautiful campus, and I'm so proud of it, and I like to have people come and visit us and see our beautiful campus.
It is, it is. What have you recognized over the years?
You know, the time when I moved to Lincoln University, we always claim that Lincoln is a land grant university, 1890 land grant. That 1890 land grant was signed in 1890, naturally. But anytime a bill is passed, there are two components to it. One is the passing the bill, and second one is to allocate funding to implement that bill. Although 1890 land grant bill was signed in 1890, we did not see money come with that bill. We had to wait 81 years.
Wow.
The first time we received land grant money was 1971. So before that, that agriculture was, you know, not a very growing department because our resources were very limited. There were only about 4 or 5 people running the Department of Agriculture. Then in 71, 72, when we received a little bit of money, if I remember correctly, the first funding land grant money that we received was something like $16,000. Later on, slowly, you know, incrementally, it went up. And after that, you know, we were able to build our research faculty, build our extension faculty, and of course, our instruction. So these things have grown tremendously.
Okay.
And
We're going to have to take a break right now, and then we'll come back and hear from you, and you can tell us. So thanks for watching, and we will be right back with you.
Hi, I'm Joy Sweeney with the Council for Drug-Free Youth. The Council for Drug-Free Youth is an organization started by parents to help prevent alcohol and drug abuse among youth in our community. We believe that with accurate information, young people will understand that a drug-free life is not only possible, but fulfilling. Our mission is to create and maintain collaborative community coalitions united by a common goal to promote drug-free lifestyles among youth across mid-Missouri. We help over 15,000 students each year through our programs and outreach learn the importance of maintaining a drug-free life. We also provide the understanding that there are consequences to the choices we make. We help them understand the importance of being true to themselves and the responsibilities they have to those that are important in their life. The vision for the Council for Drug-Free Youth is to empower youth to make healthy lifestyle choices and live drug-free. Our philosophy is that an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. It saves lives, stops crime, minimizes incarceration, provides productive members of society, and creates amazing communities. The youth of our community are our future, and we all benefit when they succeed. The Council for Drug-Free Youth hopes you will join our efforts. Call 573-636-2411 or email joy@jccdfy.org. Or check out our website, jccdfy.org, or like us on Facebook. Thank you.
Welcome back to What's Up LU. I'm Dr. Kevin Rome, president of Lincoln University, and we're reminiscing over the last 40 so years at Lincoln University, and now we're about to hear more remarks about the past and the present of Lincoln University. So please tell us some of the memorable things that have happened.
I think Roseanne is right. One of the greatest changes has been the diversity that has come into the university. But one of the things that has been consistent is we've had wonderful students. It has just been fun to teach here because of the quality of the students. The man who's running the camera over there is a wonderful guy. It is fun to be with him. And I think that's the major change but continuation that has made Lincoln what it is today. Lots of physical changes have taken place, obviously. But the stability of what we used to call and so-called the Lincoln family continues. We now have far more international students from the Caribbean. We now have a track team that reflects that, of course. I think one thing that we do now more than in the past, and I think this is really wonderful, we used to recruit students for sports in order to have really quality sports, and I think that's important. One of the things I like about our football program, despite how it does or does not do on the field, is that we're offering opportunity for young men in what in many cases are troubled situations, East St. Louis, this, some part of Florida, California, whatever, to get out of the world that they're linked to come to a better world. We have students here from Ferguson, Missouri. This is an opportunity outside of Ferguson, outside of East St. Louis. And our sports teams have done that. Just as Jamaicans have gotten out of a better country, from the country they've come to a better situation here, and they've enhanced our image, goodness knows, it's been good for them too. And I think the way we use our recruiting money sports-wise has been very, very good.
Wow, that's a very thoughtful way of looking at it. So 40 years plus ago, did you realize that you would be at Lincoln this long?
You know, we always take 1 year at a time. You know, when I first came to this country, I thought I would get my master's, then I go back to India. Then I got the opportunity to go for my doctorate. Then I thought, after a few years of postdoctoral experience, I will go back to India. So we always plan, you know, a couple of years at a time. But I never thought that I will be here this long, but I'm still here.
Roseanne?
And that's what it was for me. I came and I was going to be here for a little bit, and 40 years later, I'm still here. I've enjoyed every minute of it. The students, the people I've worked with, they became my extended family. Everybody at Lincoln, although, you know, I'm one of 12 children and have lots of family, I have extended family at Lincoln University. They
Well,
become part of your family.
And I'm blessed to be able to work with you, and so I get to benefit from the 40 plus years of experience. So I'm the beneficiary, so I can really appreciate that. What about yourself?
I didn't postulate great amounts of time, but I knew from the moment I got here that I would enjoy it. Once more, it's the students. And I've been to a variety of other places, both in terms of as a student and as a teacher. Lincoln family, the students that we get, or at least the students that come into my classes, maybe there's a distinction, I don't know. They're just fun to be with. And people ask me from time to time, you know, when do you plan to retire? People who don't know too much. And I tell them, I love what I do, I'm loved for what I do, and they pay me decently. Why would I retire? And that's been the mindset from the beginning.
So what keeps you here? What keeps you here?
You
Him,
know, I love the flexibility that we have. You know, nowadays, because I've been here for so long, anytime we hire a new faculty, and especially in extension, I have become their unofficial mentor. Nobody gave me that responsibility, but it just fell on me. And I just tell everybody, you know, this is an opportunity. And what you can do, sky is the limit.
Absolutely.
You know, if you have good ideas, you know, this is the perfect place for you to, you know, use that idea and grow that idea. And where else would you get a work environment with that kind of flexibility as we have at Lincoln University? It is small, so we can approach, if we need to see you, I don't think it is that difficult for me to come and see you. But in other places, I don't know. And to be honest, other than Lincoln University, the only other place that I worked was Tuskegee University. So coming from Lincoln, from Tuskegee to Lincoln, you know, I came to a smaller school, but I got a lot more opportunities as I got here than what I had at Tuskegee.
Okay, thanks. What's kept you here?
Probably the students, the family atmosphere. No 2 days are alike in the president's office. Each situation is unique. Just enjoy what I do. I enjoy coming to work every morning. And like Noel, my family saying, well, when are you going to retire? Well, I don't plan on doing that anytime soon. So I'm hoping to stay here quite a few more years.
Good. Well, we want you here. No? What's
I was trying to get your cameraman into this thing. He's one of the reasons I stay here. Students like him are the reason, the only reasons I stay here, actually. It would be interesting for folks who know anything about Moses and the retirement system. I got a letter from Moses 2 springs ago telling me that if I retired instantaneously, they would pay me $10,000 more per year than what I'm earning as a teacher. Ridiculous. The year after that, I got one last year, $13,000 more than what I'm presently earning here if I retired. And I said to myself, why would I? I enjoy the students that are here, and they're fun for me. I don't come to work, I come to fun, and they pay me. not exorbitantly, but they pay me. That's why I stay.
Well, over the years, I'm sure there have been interesting relationships with Lincoln University and Jefferson City, the city in general. What are your thoughts over the years about the relationship, and where do you think it should go?
Oh, I can tell you where it should go. A more harmonious sense of the quality of our students and the fundamental human rights of our students. Ferguson is in the news today. Jefferson City has been from time to time somewhat in the same news. I used to play tennis down at the Footloom. The courts were decent. I played with a friend of mine who had come from Ukraine, so she knew nothing about American history. And we were playing, and one day, 2 young kids from the community, maybe 13, 14, were simply walking around the court, and all of a sudden we're told to stop and whatever. And they didn't have anything, and they were allowed to go. Okay. So I called Ira over to me at the net, and I said, what do you think this kid's relationship to authority and the Jefferson City community is going to be from this point on? And it's obvious. Jefferson City, for all of the good changes it has made, still needs to make changes in terms of those kinds of issues, which are now bubbling up in Ferguson, bubbling up in. We as a Jefferson City community still need to work on that.
Okay.
I think it has improved over the years, but there's still some improvement needed, and I think the university and the community together can make that happen.
You know, I think it is good, but it could be better though. I think each of us, we should go out to the community. You know, we know that Lincoln has been really good. It was good for us, but not too many people outside Lincoln know about it. And I think that we should take it upon ourselves to go and get involved in community work and let them know that what Lincoln is and what Lincoln has to offer. And I would say that second to the state government in Jefferson City, I believe Lincoln is the largest employer. You know, we contribute a lot to the city, to the community, but how many people know about it? Do they appreciate it? I think we need to sell ourselves. We need to sell Lincoln University so that people will know and understand. I think we are doing good, but it could be better though.
What one thing would each of you say to a new faculty or staff member coming to Lincoln? What piece of advice would you give them?
Enjoy their students. Several years ago, I started to put together in my head what the components of a good teacher were. And I did this for our department at the time. I had a nice relationship with her. And I thought number 3, but only number 3, was a high sense of quality about your material. Number 2 was to care about your students, both while they're in your classroom and their future. And number 1 is to like your students. It seems to me that makes all the difference, because if you do like your students and are therefore sort of logically liked in return, barriers are gone, bridges are made, it's just so much easier to teach and so much more enjoyable to teach. So that is what I would tell newcoming staff.
I would say open your mind and your heart, and it's very rewarding to work at Lincoln University.
Thanks.
And you know, when the new faculty comes, they usually come and talk to me that why I have been at Lincoln for this long and whether or not I recommend that they come to Lincoln. I just tell them that, you know, why don't you take the offer, come here, see things for yourself. If you don't like it, you can always leave. But, you know, I don't know of anyone who came here and after a couple of years, they wanted to leave. until or unless something big opportunity opened up in front of them. Most of them are here, and they were glad that they made that choice, and they have become a productive member of Lincoln University.
We have about 1 minute left, so if each of you could just say whatever briefly comments you'd like to send to the Lincoln family.
Dr. Rome, this is something that we have been talking among ourselves for the last few days. We are really excited about the new leadership at Lincoln University. We are so glad that you decided to come here.
Thank you.
We can say enough about Dr. Sewell. He has been so good, very nice. And the way that he welcomes all of us to President's Residence, once a month, this is something new. And we really enjoy that get together.
Good.
This is an opportunity for us to know other faculty on campus, because we just come, we do our job, then we go back. We do not have that many opportunities to interact with other faculty from other colleges. And this is a good opportunity. And now we are excited for our new dean to come. And, things are looking up, and we feel very excited about it.
Good.
I say come and see us. We are our best kept secret in Jefferson City. If you haven't been on the Lincoln campus, come and visit us. Our doors are open.
Thank you.
For either faculty or students, I would simply give them the metaphor of the Lincoln family. We really do function that way. And it's an enjoyable family to be part of, and it's a very open family to be part of. And that would be reason enough, it seems to me, for most people to want to come.
Well, thank each of you for sharing your many, many years with the Lincoln University family, the faculty, staff, the community, and for all that you've done and contributed to the institution. It's been my pleasure to speak with you today. And to our community, our faculty, our staff, our students, the Jefferson City community, and all of those who see this broadcast, happy holidays, safe holidays, and we'll see you next year. So thank you. This is Kevin Rome, President of Lincoln University, saying so long, happy holidays, see you next year.